All right. Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome back. We're back after 2 week hiatus. Welcome back to another episode, Friday Night Fight Talk. Your wonderful host back finally after 2 weeks. Jays, welcome back. So yeah, a lot has happened in 2 weeks of the UFC. So and I'll explain why I was gone for 2 weeks. I got brand new fucking laptop, okay, brand spanking new, and it ends up having a DNS error. So I had to manually connect all the computer heebie-jeebie, blah blah blah. Computer issues didn't allow me to at least upload it. But I figured there's no point of listening to this podcast if it's not live, unless you're listening for the Q&A, which good for you. You can have a cookie. So quick recap. Past couple of weeks, the week I missed, I really wanted to do an episode on. I was bummed it was on that week. Was 313, potentially KO of the year, Mauricio Rufy, and we have fucking Big Onk as new champion. Like, motherfucker, are you kidding me? Like, out of all the things that could have happened to me, out of all the worst things that could have happened to me, cancer is number 2. Number 1 is Big Onk as light heavyweight champion. I shit you not. Yeah. So that sucked. And then Roman Dolidze somehow beat Marvin Vettori. I mean, realistically, momentum, I saw it. Marvin Vettori's been out for fucking forever. And Roman's been quite active. Although he fluked a win over Kevin Holland. But yeah, so this weekend, now that we're back at it again, we have UFC London. We have Leon Edwards, supposed to fight JDM. He's out fighting Sean Brady. In a match that I don't know if I would say. I don't know who I would lean towards in that one. For me, it's a very hard fight to predict because I think Leon's kind of a bum. I'm not going to lie. But I also don't think Sean Brady's all that good either. But let's just get into the picks. Let's get in the whole card. And yeah. So, kicking off the card, we got Guram Kot. Oh, fuck, I can never say this guy's name. Kutzadeladze versus Cal Fernandez. Guram, he's got that win over Mateusz Gamrot. I want to say it was his debut. And then Fernandez, his best win is, I want to say he has like one. I can't even remember who it was. For me, this is a pretty obvious one. I'm going Guram by a decision. I think this is fairly confident. I can't really. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't know if he's ever finished someone in the UFC. I don't think he has. He only has 2 wins to begin with. One of them's Gamrot, somehow, by the way. And the other one's Jordan Vucenic, or Vucenic, or whatever the fuck, however you say his name. I don't know. But yeah, Guram, decision. It's a pretty confident one. Or pretty confident pick. Pretty easy pick. Next up, we got Nathan Fletcher versus Callum Logren. Irish. So Fletcher, he's coming off a win. I forget when his last fight was. It was a while back. Managed to submit the guy. I want to say I actually might have gotten that one right. And then Callum Logren lost his last fight to bantamweight Jake Hadley, who isn't even in the UFC anymore. So, just going off of that alone, I'm going to pick Nathan Fletcher to win a decision. And I don't think he'll submit him again, but I do believe that Callum Logren just isn't up to that skill, and Nathan Fletcher will beat him by decision. Okay, next up, we got Shauna Bannon versus Pooja Tomar. So anyone remember UFC 312? Oh, this is gonna sound so stupid. Anyone remember UFC 312? Another certain fighter from a certain country named Anshul Jubli. You might not remember him. Like future lightweight champion and all that. Pooja Tomar's from the same country. I'm gonna say this now. I actually think that we're gonna have another do not redeem. I can't believe I just said that. I actually think we're gonna have another do not redeem. Oh, that sounds bad. Both these girls aren't like great. Like Pooja over here has a 9-4 record. Shauna Bannon has 6-1. I'm just gonna say Shauna Bannon wins the decision. And that's going to be our do not redeem. I doubt she'll fucking KO her. I don't know if in 7 of her fights if she even has a finish. She has 2 finishes. She has 2 knockouts. Okay. Next up. Former star, I guess, before you I wouldn't really say fraud checked. I don't know. By RoboCop. We have Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Poliev. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know how to say your name. Poliev's coming off of a contender series. Christian Leroy Duncan, he's obviously coming off of that last fight against RoboCop. Before that, I think he was on a pretty good run in the... Yeah, he had 2 wins. Always an entertaining fighter. I think he puts on a really good time most of the time. I am actually going to say, I'm going to pick Christian Leroy Duncan by round 2 KO. I'm actually going to go ahead and say that. Puliev, I'm sure he looked good in the contender series. I haven't checked into the contender series much, but I do check in when I see someone debuting in the UFC now. You know what? I think Leroy Duncan could beat him. All right, next up we got heavyweight. I don't know why this is so far down on the card, by the way. I think probably because I think it's going to be really boring. We got Marcin Tybura versus Thick McParkin. McPorkin. This is the battle of the McDonald's gift card. Whoever wins this fight probably gets like a 50-pound or whatever it is in UK land gift card to Don's over here. These are some thick boys. Marcin Tybura doesn't really need much of an introduction. He had his last win over United Deniz. UFC 309 actually finished him, which I feel like a lot of people weren't expecting. And then coming off a loss, Sergey Spivak had a win over Tai Tuivasa, but I feel like that's not saying much nowadays. And Thick Mick, undefeated, training partner with Tom Aspinall, surprisingly. Has had his KO win over Lucas Brzeski. I thought that was really impressive. And a UD over Muhammad Usman. And I guess Kyle Machado, Jamal Pokes. They don't really matter. Now, I am not going to pick Thick Mick to finish Marcin Tybura. But I'm going to pick McParkin and win a decision. I feel like that's a good underdog pick if you want to make a bet. Now, just because he's undefeated, that doesn't mean fuck all. But I do believe that he's going to get the win by decision. He's really well-rounded in most areas, and I get Marcin Tybura is too. But I just have a feeling. I know I'm going off a hunch here. And that is not a feeling I like to do often. But Thick Mick might beat Marcin Tybura. All right. All right, next up, flyweight. We got I can't say your name. Loner? Is it Lonair? Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos. So Kavanagh, as I'm going to call him now, I'm not saying your first name. He's undefeated. Has 1 win in the UFC. Was a good win. But Felipe Dos Santos, I feel like a lot of people are forgetting how this guy's actually good. I get he lost to fucking Andre Lima, but also Andre Lima is probably really close to getting a ranked opponent. Um, and also, I want to say it was short notice. Fought Manel Cap. I believe it was short notice. I think it was 293. So, like, I'm not going to lie here. I'm actually going to pick Felipe Dos Santos to win a decision. I feel like a lot of people are underestimating him in this. And I don't understand why he's that big of an underdog. A plus 295 underdog. That's kind of horse shit. I think he should be way, not way up there, but it should be a close fight, at least, betting wise. All right, and next up, this is another one I think is very close. So the betting odds show it. Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla is someone I think is very underrated. Jai Herbert is someone I think is very overrated. And that's not saying that he's bad. That isn't saying that he's bad. But I feel like a lot of people talk about Jai Herbert as like the top of the unranked lightweight division. Horseshit. No, he's not. Got fucking slept by Ilya Taporia that one time. I think everyone knows that. And I want to say Ilya's only lightweight fight, other than I guess he has lightweight fights coming up, but now he's just that's his only fight as of now. But we got Chris Padilla, who I think his last one was over Rong Zhu. And then he also fought James Lontop. Like, he's not. And he has 2 finishes. Like, I won't lie, I'm actually going to pick Chris Padilla to win this. I'm going to say decision. I will say decision. I get both of his other wins are finishes, but one's a doctor stoppage, the other's a submission. Good submission. But Jai Herbert, all he needs is a little bit of pressure. He's just like Leon. He's just like lighter Leon. Just cracks under pressure, I would say. And I feel like that's something Chris Padilla can do really easily. Okay. Moving on to the main card. We got the TikTok influencer Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. This is a banger. I think this is a really good fight. But and yet again, this is another tough one to predict. This is where we see a lot of these good fights. They're tough to predict. Morgan Charrier, he was on the Paris card, I think in September. Fought that guy with the funny mustache. I forgot his name, and then I think he fought Mariscal too, Shepe Mariscal. He's a slight favorite going into this. So then we have Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood, bit of a TikTok influencer, had his last win over Daniel Pineda, and before that, now I'll say this, had a robbery loss to Naimov. I thought he won that fight, and then won against Andre Philly, and CGI against Charles Jourdain. So he's kind of like the top of unranked featherweights. Aside from an odd loss to Naimov, which really shouldn't have happened, he's been on a huge win streak other than that. And as much as Morgan Charrier is a huge star, I got to pick Nathaniel Wood to win a decision here. I genuinely think he got robbed against Naimov. Other than that, he'd be on a huge win streak. Like, I think he's done good for himself. His last loss, other than that, was in 2020. Like, I think he's gonna. I don't know if I say outclass. It might end up being a close fight. He'll probably end up winning 29-28. It'll be a damn close fight. We could even see a robbery, but I'm gonna pick Nathaniel Wood. And then we got this next one. We got Jordan. Oh fuck! I still can't say her name. Jordan Vucenic. I don't know. Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. So we got Scotland versus England. Also, sorry if I sound like really awkward. I've been hella sick for the past few weeks. So Vucenic, kind of coming out of Cage Warriors. He was Cage Warriors champ for a bit, I believe. His tattoos kind of look like a porta potty in a train station bathroom. That's not talking shit. They actually look good. Just looks like it got scribbled all over. And Chris Duncan, I want to say he was on the Paris card too. Yeah, he was against Balagioki. Had a great submission over Balagioki, which he was a huge underdog in. A lot of people didn't believe in him there. Now, should Vucenic be this big of an underdog? No, considering he doesn't have a win in the UFC. Was it a close fight? Yeah. But I am going to say Vucenic wins the decision. This is going to be a very decision-heavy card, by the way, if you can't tell. I think he wins a decision. Yeah, nothing special. Chris Duncan, don't get me wrong, could be close. These are two high-level grapplers. But yeah. Okay, strawweight. This one's pretty easy. I'm picking Molly McCann by decision. Not that I think Molly McCann's that good. I don't get me wrong. I don't think she's that good. When you're losing to Bruna Brasil in the modern day, and then, man, I'm saying this a lot. I don't think Bruna Brasil's that bad either. But I also don't think Wang Kong is that good. But when you're losing to Bruna Brasil and you are still like, mate, I'm the top of the division. I want the title shot. Give me the belt. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I'm Meatball Molly. Where is Patty? Patty, we want to eat the cheeseburger. Oh, sorry, I know that sounds bad. But debuting on very short notice, Alexia Thainara, man, you're just not going to get it. We could see a submission here, but I'm just going to say it safe. I'm going Molly by decision. Yeah, just playing it safe on this one. If she's really that big of a Molly McCann, she'll lose this fight. But I don't think she's that big of a can. Okay. Next up, featured bout. Will this guy learn to take a fucking break? We've got Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Now, Kevin Holland, man, the downfall. What happened to you, Kevin? What happened? You went from winning 5 fights in 2020, and look where you are now. Man, can't even beat... I mean, okay, yeah, he could beat Mikhail like Jacek, but brother can't even choose a division. I don't even know which one he's better in either because he was a bum at welterweight. But let's go off the last 5 here. And I'm going to say what's a good loss or a good win. Bad loss, bad win. So when do we really notice the Kevin Holland drop off here? Obviously, there's like a few good fights that like you can't really blame him for losing. Like the Derek Brunson fight, you can't blame him for that. Derek Brunson was good at the time. Marvin Vettori, I believe, I want to say that he was on the verge of a title shot. If not, he might have already had it. But then, yeah, beating up on ranked cans. You can't blame him for losing to Hamzat. Fucking Robert Whittaker lost to... Oh, shit, just whacked my mic. Robert Whittaker lost to Hamzat. Can't blame him for losing to Wonder Boy. He wasn't old by then. Then we get a little riskier, right? Beats Santiago Ponzinibbio, good win. Beats Michael Chiesa by submission. That's embarrassing. That is fucking embarrassing if you're Michael Chiesa. And then JDM. JDM is literally getting a title shot. Not a bad loss. Split decision, too. Shouldn't have been. But not a bad loss. Michael Page debuting. Probably the guy in most people's eyes that needed to be in the UFC. Like the guy that everyone was watching and was like, man, I'd like to see that guy in the UFC. Not a bad loss. Wins against Mikhail and Jacek. By submission, because Mikhail can't fucking grapple for shit. Then he loses to Roman Dolidze. Okay, Roman Dolidze is pretty shit. Yeah, Roman Dolidze is pretty shit. He was injured? Oh, he quit on the stool? Oh, shit. Okay. So, injury loss. 2 months later, comes back and fights Reiner de Ritter. What the fuck? Fights Reiner de Ritter. Like, why? It gets subbed, of course. But yeah, a huge fall off. Gunnar Nelson also has been out forever. I forget what team he was on. I want to say he was he Connor's teammate? I forget. I forget what gym he's part of. His last fight was 2023. He's almost had a 2-year layoff. I think he fought Brian Barberina, I want to say. I think that was his last fight. He really just And then he also had another layoff, I think, in between that. I want to say he fought. I know it was after the Gilbert Burns fight. I want to say he was like a 2-3 year layoff, and I forget why. But anyways, I'm getting off point. This is so risky. I'm gonna pick Kevin Holland to win a decision, man. I know it sounds bad. I know it really sounds bad, considering I can't rely on Kevin Holland anymore. But Gunnar Nelson's been out for a while, and there's a big difference between Brian Barberena and Kevin Holland. Okay, granted, maybe nowadays not big, and I might eat my own words for saying that. But I gotta pick Kevin Holland by decision. He's been out for so long, and Kevin Holland, now granted, he hasn't really recovered either. But the only risk he really has is getting subbed, which I think he'll hopefully be fine. Reiner de Ritter is a better grappler than Gunnar Nelson, I'd say, so. Yeah. Okay. Co-main. This is a big one. This is also probably going to put me into a little bit of a depression after what I'm about to say. You got Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Old man versus young contender. Man, they really fucked my boy Jan Blachowicz over. And then we got Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg, I think his only loss. Who's his only loss to? Is it Kennedy Nishikwu? I don't know his name. I want to say that's his only loss. Had that 30-27 win over Volkan Oezdemir where I picked Volkan Oezdemir. Fucking KO'd Alonzo Menefield in 12 seconds, which might not be saying much nowadays considering he's kind of a bum. But looked really good recently. He's on the rise. And if whoever wins this fight, by the way, I think he's getting a title shot against the winner of Alex and what's his face? Big Onk. Probably, unless they go the Yuri route. Because if Alex doesn't win, they're going to pull the Yuri route and just let Yuri fight for the belt, which could happen. But Blachowicz, he's so old. He's so fucking old. And he's been out for so long. He's been out for over a year. Almost a year. About a year and a half. And Ulberg's been incredibly active. I'm gonna pick Carlos Ulberg to win the decision. I don't think he's gonna KO him, but if he KOs him, it's gonna be bad. Have I even fucking said that anyone's gonna knock someone out? Yeah, Christian Leroy Duncan. But yeah, fuck. I think Carlos Ulberg's gonna beat him. I think it's gonna be 30-27. Could even have like a 10-8 round, 30-26. I'm just worried. Although I'd be happy as hell if Jan won. I mean, not really. I like Ulberg too. Volk's teammate. All right. And then the main event, we got Mumble Mouth Leon Edwards. I gotta get back in there and fight. I mean, you know what? He's actually, I'll give him this. He's more understandable than Stipe, but Stipe is also like deciphering fucking dial-up internet and translating it to English. Like, I just spoke Stipe-ese. Like that. That's what Stipe sounds like. But Leon isn't much better. It's like, man, I'm so sleepy, bro. I lost to Bilal because I was fighting at 5:30. Which, to be fair, fighting at 5:30 in the morning is fucking not good. I'm getting off track. We have Sean Brady on the other side of the cage. Sean Brady coming off a win to Gilbert Burns. Now, this is a tough fight for me to predict because I don't necessarily think either of these guys are that great. Leon cracks under pressure. He cracks under pressure. He definitely cracks under pressure way too easily. All it takes is a dogfight, and you can beat Leon. Very technical striker, all of that. And you know what? I will say, stereotypically, he's done well against grapplers, minus Bilal. Um, his all of his title reign fights were up against grapplers. Um, and yeah, to be fair, he's fought like Gunnar Nelson, RDA, people I would say that have good grappling. Nate Diaz also almost got chinned in the fifth. And Sean Brady coming off a win to Gilbert Burns, which I will say nowadays isn't really a great win because Gilbert Burns got KO'd in his last fight. It is also already almost 40 years old. And a win over Kelvin Gastelum, which welterweight Kelvin Gastelum, we don't really need to talk about. And then I'll say this: brother is one of Bilal's only finishes, and not only that, Bilal fucking TKO'd him. How the fuck? How the fuck do you get TKO'd by Bilal? Listen, I get Bilal. This guy's out here predicting round one KOs. He thinks he boxes like Canelo, but holy fuck, how do you get TKO'd by Bilal? He is the decision machine of the UFC, other than like maybe Marab. But man, I'm gonna pick. This sounds really bad. I'm gonna pick Sean Brady to win a decision. And now listen, this does not mean I think Sean Brady fucking touches that belt. I don't think he touches that belt. And I get that Leon had that crazy win streak. But I think Leon just got lucky. Like, and not to mention, fucking headshot dead. That is luck if I've ever seen it. But like, he had that win streak. Don't get me wrong. But he cracks under pressure. Like, he doesn't take pressure well. And that's something that I can at least see Sean Brady doing if he's smart. If he's smart, he'll put pressure on. If he's being a dumbass, Leon will probably win. But yeah, that's it. That's my risky-ass picks. We're wrapping up the Immortal Tournament this weekend. I actually don't think we had any Q&A this week, which is fair. I made the post however many days ago, but we've been gone for a couple weeks. So we're back. We're back. Hopefully nothing else happens to this laptop. And everything will be okay, and I can keep uploading episodes every Friday. Same time as per usual. Same bat time, same bat place. I guess we'll just talk a bit about myself here for a second, so we can get this up to the 35-minute mark. So tomorrow, I'm actually not really going to be able to watch this card live. I'm going to get to catch a bit of it, like maybe an hour. It starts at 4 o'clock. But my gym, we're putting on some fights this weekend. This place, I guess my mom works for them, but we rented out a place, this venue. It's super sick. The whole thing's amazing. I was there earlier, just setting up the ring, all that, setting up tables, blah, blah, blah. Just making sure it's all ready for tomorrow. My coach comes up to me, and we're talking, and we got to get people to work the doors. He's like, and Ryan and Dakota, you guys are going to be bouncers. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? You're telling me I'm a bouncer now? So I'm going to be like a shitty Piotr Jan. If you didn't know, Piotr Jan was a bouncer before he was a fighter. Or maybe at the same time, I don't know, but he was a bouncer at some point. And I'm going to be a bouncer for tomorrow only, and I'm going to watch some fights. Hopefully drink some shit. The after party better be fun. But I'm going to be a bouncer. I'm going to make sure no one fucking enters without actually being able to enter, and if they do, I am going to fuck shit up. I'm going to fuck shit up. Which excites me, like I like kicking assholes' asses. I don't love getting tossed around, so I'm going to fucking toss you around, yeah. But yeah, I guess that's really it for that. I'm gonna try and get this to 35-minute mark because we're really short on time considering I don't have Q&A. Oh man, actually, I forgot Drew Dober's fighting soon. I'm just looking at all the future cards. The Mexico card looks really good as of right now. But like we have Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer, man. That's a banger of a fight. That's a great fight. And I also, in my 2-week hiatus, bought UFC 315 tickets. So I'm going to go see all that live because it actually looks like a really good Canada card for once. I'm surprised. Fight night Emmett versus Murphy. Kennedy Nishuku's fighting Martin Bidet. I didn't even fucking know that. That's crazy. Martin Bidet's getting a ranked opponent, is he? Isn't he coming off a loss? Oh no, he beat Andre Arlovski. Oh fuck, I forgot how bad that fight was. Oh my god. Oh, I really forgot that was a bad fight. One of the worst fights of the year. I honestly think that might be my pick for worst fight of 2024. Oh, and I remember he got fucking flatlined by Shamil Gaziev in his debut. Man, that's crazy. And Brad Tavares and GM3 are fighting. That is the war of unbelievable amount of finishes versus unbelievable amount of decisions. Oh, man. And has anyone looked at UFC 314 lately? Because I forget if I was back for this or if it was in my fucking 2-week hiatus once again. That added to 314 with Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva fighting. And Bryce Mitchell, I don't know what happened to this guy. I think he's gone absolutely insane. Man, the guy's kind of gone crazy. Talking about demons and shit. And, man. Whew. The guy's kind of gone nuts to me, but also Gene Silva isn't mentally all there either, in my opinion. Yeah. Just have a drink. Man, all this stalling shit really gets to you. Let's see. What else is there to stall with? Let's see. And talk about my personal life more. Let me think. I'm just trying to think of shit to talk about for a few minutes. Oh, UFC Iowa got announced. That's the other thing. So we have Corey Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo. I think that's a good fight. But in the co-main, and I'm really surprised they put this on a fight night, considering that they think that Bo Nickel's a huge fucking pay-per-view star. We have Reinhard Ritter versus Bo Nickel. Man really just fucking sold the bag on UFC 309. Because everyone was expecting him to like submit Paul Craig. And fucking just had a boring ass fight. That was another really bad fight. And now somehow Reinhard Ritter is ranked, which I won't lie. 2 really good wins in the UFC over stellar grapplers. It just really shows his level of grappling, I guess. I don't know how I feel about number 13 with 2 wins in the UFC. I feel like I'd rather have Roman Kopylov up there, given he at least beat Chris Curtis, who was ranked not that long ago. Michel Pereira, that's fine. He can be at 15. He did nothing to get ranked. Still doesn't have a ranked win. And Montel Jackson is back. I feel like this guy got ranked forever ago after he fucking KO'd Damon Blackshear in, what was it, like 8 seconds? 18 seconds, that's what it was. Not 8 seconds. And I don't know if anyone knows this either, the battle of the fucking cans, Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tacos. Though that is battle of who is the worst fighter in the UFC at this time. Those two do not know what they're fucking doing, in my opinion. I guess I'll call it there. Yeah, I've stalled for a whole 5 minutes. I feel like you guys are good. I feel like everyone who doesn't really care about the rambling is left at this point, and everyone who does has listened to me ramble. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening once again. Um, yeah, we'll be back at it next week. What? Oh man, what card is it next week? Is it an Apex fight? Oh no, it's Mexico. Mexico City. Wait, is it Mexico City? Fuck it. It's in Mexico. That's all I know. But thank you, everyone. And I'll see you all next week.